What role does preparation play in your success as a top player? And how do you stay ahead in opening theory?
Yeah, no, preparation, you need to somehow combine all of these things and find the right balance. With the openings, you want to be, of course, well prepared. You want to remember a lot of important lines, but you also don't want to over-rely on that because it's really hard to switch to playing. If you're like focused so much on memorization, the moment you suddenly forget at the board, you have total panic. You also want to be warmed up for the tournament, so at the same time you don't want to be then burnt out with all the chess, and you want to remain fresh as well, because if you play too much chess, after a while you're missing that freshness, that inspiration enough. So you have to find the right balance, because if you are like too fresh, then you are too rusty. So I'm always looking for the balance. It's always difficult, but it's always what you try to do.
Well, I don't think I stay ahead in the opening theory, to be honest. I'm merely, catching up stuff. In these days, everyone of course prepares with engines and people play, a lot of fancy ideas. Yeah, it's just about, remembering stuff in the right moment, I would say. I would rather, copy or sometimes maybe modify ideas of others, rather than creating my own.
Yeah, when I first entered the elite level, I think one thing I was struggling with is openings. In general, everybody at the top is very well prepared and have a vast knowledge of openings. I always try to come up with some kind of new idea whenever I play, and yeah, I've had a lot of fun games in preparation.
There are a lot of resources for opening preparation. There are a lot of databases, engine games, correspondence chess, a lot of top-level tournaments. I kind of get through that games and try to find new directions, new novelties. Also, my coach Rustam does a lot of work so that we can, keep up with the new opening theory.
Yeah, preparation is important, and as you said, openings are quite important at the top level, and everyone is well prepared. Also, the way we are preparing, I think, is changed constantly. Like a few years back, I don't think we would look at lines like Benko, for example, to play at the top level. But now with the computers, you can literally make anything possible, and that makes the opening area wider, and you have to keep looking at everything, and it's getting difficult in that way. You have to remember a lot, but this is just not a problem for me, a problem for everyone, so we are all at the same level anyways.
It's not always been easy, because 10 years ago, I was usually playing guys like Anna and Kramnik, Topalov, the older generation, and they're great players, and I've been studying their games ever since I was a little boy. But nowadays, with newer generation of teenagers, it's quite difficult to understand the way that they play chess. Guess you gotta be updated and study their games, try to understand how they play.
I wouldn't say I stay ahead, but let's say I have a bit different approach than the new generation. I think I'm more like old generation player with my repertoire and just sticking to it. I'm not usually the guy who prepares during the tournament. I prepare most of the time at my home, checking lines. In general, I like to save energy during the tournament in the morning and not to waste time on preparation so much, just to keep my energy for the game, because most of the time it's just like 99% matters on the board, not before the game.
The role of opening theory is quite different now than it used to. It used to be. Opening theory now is so advanced that you cannot really play the main lines anymore with white. If you want to win, you always sort of have to adjust and find little tweaks. So also the trust in computers these days is such that we know that they will not make huge mistakes as they might have done in the past if you don't study something deeply enough. Like now you can generally rely on that, and that means that it takes much less time also to prepare well. So I would say that the role of preparations, it's both easier but also more frustrating if you're actually relying on the opening to get games. Thankfully, it's less important in Rapid and Blitz, because you can allow yourself a little bit more in terms of playing worse lines.
This is especially difficult these days because we have so many resources that are available to everyone, And there are so many players who are motivated to work, maybe 6 hours or maybe 10 hours a day, whatever they're working on. It's an enormous amount, and then you have to keep up with that. So it's very difficult. In the past, it was a bit more relaxed. Engines didn't show the ultimate truth, so it was a bit more like, you can kind of put your own input a bit, and you didn't get punished as harshly if you didn't stay up to date. I think that now it's especially difficult.
Yeah, opening is very important these days. It's maybe almost like you could see where the game is going out of opening. So I work a lot on opening, but still, every day you have to be updated. If you are very good at opening and then you quit for 3 months, 4 months, then you are not the best anymore. So you have to be every day working hard.